go live.
We will control a few screens.
Hi, everyone. This is Tere, President of Ladies Fund, and thrilled to be inviting you to our sixth session of our six-part series with Women for Solutions, which has been such an enormous success, such an enormous hit, that we've been getting under so many requests, flooded with so many requests for more sessions. But today is session 6, Caring Economy, the History of Women. So aren't you all dying and eager to learn all about this important topic, especially from the incredible perspective of Tere Igana? So first, a little bit about us. Of course, you know us as Ladies Fund. It stands for Women of Economic Voice and Economic Power. I'm here in Karachi representing all of Pakistan in this women platform that is a sisterhood of women of dynamic careers, industries, businesses, sectors, making and creating change and empowering others and job creation. Our partner in this is the incredible Samir Dosal, but we have a special request to actually just introduce Connect Here so they can begin their hearing impaired their sign language so that everything can be perfect for you today. So we just want to thank Alia and Connect Here and bring them on board. So thank you so much, Alia, for being here and representing the team led by Azima. And you'll be doing all the sign language with us today. So we're very thankful to Connect Here. So Samir, would you like to introduce Connect Here further and then speak your own few lines? Because you are, of course, a big part of all of this.
Hello, folks. Thank you very much, Tara. An amazing initiative as always, and I'm delighted on behalf of Canada-Pakistan Business Council to partner with the wonderful initiatives. I want to thank Laura for bringing this to the table, and I'm really delighted to have Connect over here support us in the sign language over here, and it's really wonderful to see what's happening and the wonderful topic that we have today. Tere is going to be introduced by Tara or by Laura, whoever, but we're really excited. Canada-Pakistan Business Council, just a little brief. We are delighted to promote relationship between Canada and Pakistan, but more importantly, we are actually involved in supporting women empowerment role both here in Canada and in Pakistan, and as well as globally. And we welcome wonderful partners such as Laura and the Ladies Fund and the Dow Global Foundation and so on. And so I'm going to throw it back to you, Tara, to carry on. And we already have from Alia. Alia is here as well, and she will be doing her thing so that it goes to a much higher audience. So thank you very much, and looking forward to hearing from all of you.
Thank you so much, Samir. So Alia, I'm sure you want to say a few words, and then you can begin your wonderful sign language for today's session, for which we thank you. Please introduce Connect Here.
Okay, so thank you so much for inviting us. First of all, my name is Alia Afzal, and my parents are also deaf, so they would be also seeing this session interpreted. And also, I work as a lead sign language trainer and interpreter at Connector. Connector is an organization which works for bridging the gap between the hearing and deaf individuals and making places accessible for the deaf persons. And also, we have provided our services as a 500,000 interpretation minutes in our services, and also trained 800 plus students in sign language. And also in our sign language badges, we have international students too. We have trained them in PSL, Pakistani Sign Language. So if any one of you wants to learn sign language, let us know, connect with us. And also we have a Pakistan's first inclusive deaf news channel, so where we have news accessible for the deaf persons. And if any one of you have any ideas or want to support us, please connect with us and we'll collaborate with each other, inshallah. And if any one of you wants your session to be interpreted in sign language, let us know. Thank you very much. We are very excited to interpret this session for you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now Alia is going to stay with me in a smaller box, and she's going to continue to do the sign language throughout this whole session. So now let's get to the heart of today and our session, which is a collaboration between Ladies Fund and the incredible Laura Cox and Women for Solutions. Now, Laura and I actually met in Argentina and became such fast friends, but it took us a year. She lives in New York for us to partner and do this collaboration. And I must say that I know from our end, but I believe from her end as well, this collaboration has exceeded all expectations in its wonderful impact. It's been a pure joy working with, collaborating, brainstorming with, and just enjoying the company and learning from Laura. She herself led the first 2 sessions and is such an incredible woman in her own right, a leader, of course, of this incredible organization, as well as a true sister in that she upholds and celebrates and spotlights other women throughout her journey, as you've been seeing, who've been with us the last 6 months. Can you believe, Laura? It's been 6 months of you and I working together on this and our 2 organizations, along with the collaborations of the Canada Pakistan Business Council, Connect Here, and the amazing Federation. And the Federation is represented today by Sheikh Sultansa, who is here in the audience and is requested that on his behalf, we remind everyone that the Federation is there for all businesses, and he's a proud supporter of all that Ladies Fund and, of course, together with Women for Solutions is doing for women. But the moment has come to hear from the brilliant Laura. I know I'm eager to do so, and she will follow that with her introduction of today's speaker, the incredible Tere. So, Laura, all yours.
Thank you, Tara. It's been amazing and very honored to be here and honored to know you, to meet you in Argentina, and to really work with you. I think there's not only this 6 months, but a lot more to come to really empower women, because that's what Women for Solution is all about. What we are seeking is to find effective and simple solutions that are tools where women and men can choose, so that we can improve the gender parity in the world and move forward what we call the caring economy. So on this note, I want to share with you our incredible speaker, Teresa or Tere Egaña. She's from Venezuela, but she is an incredibly mind, visionary, humanitarian, great friend. But what she does, she really helps women and men change into incredible people, so that really you can see her influence in what you will hear today, and how she has gone through all these many years, a few decades of studying. She is an incredibly thorough intellectual educator. And so she is the CEO and founder of Mujeres WOW, and she's a global entrepreneur trainer, and she is the president of Women International Chamber of Commerce, and she's also a board member of Women for Solutions. Teresa, it's our honor to hear you and to be with you for the next hour and really expand our knowledge on all the issues that you're going to share. We can't hear you. I think Teresa is muted. Samir, can you make sure Teresa is not muted? She's muted.
Tere, can you please unmute yourself? As admin, we don't have power to unmute you.
Tere, you have to unmute yourself.
On the bottom, there is there's a little, all the On the bottom? On the bottom, there's a mute, stop cam, share, leave studio. And that's where it is. It doesn't work?
We can't do it from here. It has to be done from her computer, unfortunately.
You can only do it. You can only do it from your computer. We can't do it from here, but you have to do it.
Tere, where your box is, on the top right of your box, there's a microphone symbol, and it currently has a slash through it. You just click on that microphone symbol, the microphone symbol, and it will unmute yourself. It's just a symbol. Like even by your name, the same microphone is there. So by my name, it's now currently
Hello,
unmuted.
can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much. Perfect.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Thank you. Good luck.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second, because in my computer is unlocked. Still, I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, give me a second, please.
Don't worry, take it easy.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Yeah. It's perfect. Yes. It's good. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, it's not working. No.
Let's see.
No.
Are you on your? Teresa, do you hear me?
Hello? It's not working. Hold on, it's not working.
I'm gonna put the sound off on your PowerPoint. It should be disconnected and only speak to one of the two. And not just the mute
Yes,
symbol, but the
listen.
sound has to-
Hold
Thank
on
you
a
all.
second. I need you to hold on. I need you to hold on so you can hear me. The microphone in my computer in the stream is unlocked and still on mute, and it still looks like it's muted. And the one in my mobile somehow is not transmitting. Can you hear me now?
We hear you perfectly.
Okay. I have an echo. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you
Hello?
perfectly.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear
Okay.
you.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
I have an echo.
No, we hear you fine.
Yes, but I have an echo.
Oh, but we don't hear the echo.
But I do.
No, we don't hear the echo.
Okay, Samir, is there
Yes.
a way that you can manually mute me from the my computer?
It doesn't allow me to mute anybody as guests. I can do it for myself, but I cannot.
Hello,
You
hello.
have to mute yourself.
Yes, I'm muted, but still not working.
So
Okay,
for the
I'm
time
going to
being, we
work.
can hear you very, very clearly. There's no echo that comes to my speakers. So it's perfect.
Okay,
You can continue.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Ready. So
Yes.
here I am, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Tere, and thank you, Samir. Thank you, everybody who made possible for me to be here. My English is very basic, so I'm going to speak slowly. I'm going to speak in a rhythm that allows me to find the words and to pronounce the best I can. I'm Teresa. Everybody calls me Tere. And what I'm going to share you is somehow a disrupted vision of the history of women. which means that I'm going to be sharing data, information that is not usually on top of the table and usually is not known by us. So be patient with me and just enjoy the ride. I'm the founder and CEO of MUJER WOW, and I'm very proud to be so. We are helping entrepreneur women all over the world, Latin entrepreneur women, or women who speak Spanish. Still, the mentoring can be in English, but our trainings are in Spanish. So you're very welcome to be part of us whenever you want. We believe in living well, doing good. We believe in having a good level of life, quality of life, and also doing well to the planet and to humanity. We believe in businesses that are responsible for eco-caring and social caring. One of our main messages is that your dream is your right. These are words of my partner, Miguel León. He's a very beautiful man who protects and trains women to be the best they can be. These are his words when I told him that I was really scared to share my vision to a group of women that I have never seen, that I might never see, and that I still want to hug with my heart and my soul in the distance. And he said to me, don't be afraid. Don't try to fit in. Acknowledge what you are, disruptive. He said to me, just give your message and allow their souls to receive it. So first of all, I do not call myself a feminist because I like to have my own voice. I like to speak loud, out loud, my truth, and the truth of many women that walk with me, a path of respect for women and men, both of us. I love to share the story of women from a different point of view. And with doing so, I want to assure you that I do respect religion in every way, different religions in every way. But still, I do not agree with certain teachings that we have received and which we have grown, that have come part of our heritage, of our unconsciousness, and thus of our behavior. And this unconsciousness is triggering every day a way of being, thinking, feeling, and acting. And if we bring them to the surface, we can do something about it. I will take 3 stories. I have a lot more, but I chose 3. And these 3 are, first of all, 3 times in history where women dare to speak out loud with their own voice. The first one is about Eva in paradise when God created us. The second one is Maria Magdalena, Mary Magdalene, the companion of the apostles and Jesus. And the third one is us, the women today. With Eva, we will find a mind of her own and also the burden of shame in her body and in all of us. But also, we will find the initiator of life, the beginning of everything. And that's what we are. We are life, and we are the givers of life. We detonate life. And that's what I propose to you, to inherit from Eva and not the burden of shame. The second one is an apostle, the apostle that the church, the Catholic Church, has denied until 1970, that the Pope, John Paul II, declared that the history that we said about her was a lie. And then the Pope, the present Pope, Francisco, he, how do you say Francisco in English, Laura?
Francis.
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 Francis, Pope Francis, he declared her in 2016 officially apostle of the group of Jesus. She walked by side with him.
We were first Jesus Christ, no?
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Yes. At that time, he wasn't Jesus Christ. He was Jesus. Only Jesus, the rabbi. He wasn't Jesus Christ. So she walks side by side with Jesus Christ. And then us, women who are fighting, wanting, needing, yearning for our rights, for being equal in law, at home, at school, in everywhere in our life, equally in rights and in opportunities. And from there, create a social progress that will bring dignity and divinity to all of us. So, Eva and God. I don't say Adam and Eva, I say Eva and God, because I want to speak about her, not about him. I don't want to speak about Adam. I want to speak about her, the first woman. And here are words of Clarissa Pinkola Estés, the writer, the bestseller writer of Women Who Runs with the Wolf. Women cannot escape from this obligation. If a change has to be made, we must lead it ourselves. We are responsible of that change. Before Eva, before Judaism, Christianism, Islamic, Hinduism, Buddhism, all of the religions, God was a woman. It was the mother goddess. And it was represented by Neolithical times as a very rounded woman, like Earth, with big breasts, to feed all of us, to nurture all of us. Then it grew to be a god that it was both female and a masculine energy. It was both energy. It could be called goddess or God, and it was pretty much the same. But then it started to grow a different kind of voice. The new religions start growing, created by men, created by paternalismo, ¿cómo se dice patriarcado? Patriarchal, well, the patriarchal religions, and gods like Zeus, Thor, Yahweh, all of them men started to rule the world through men. At this moment, one way to explain our beginning was the paradise, God creating paradise, creating the world, creating men, and from men, creating women. But before that, God created men and created women, both of them from the earth. At that moment, the woman was not part of a man. It was a complete individual of her own soul and created from the earth directly. And she was called Lilith. And Lilith told the man that she wasn't going to obey him, that she wanted to be equal. And so Adam asked God to expel her from paradise. And so he did. And then God decided to create a second woman that was called Eva and was created from the body of Adam. And this woman said to Adam, I want to share with you knowledge. I want to share with you the knowledge of good and bad. Let's share this fruit from the tree of knowledge and let's become one with God. And God didn't like it. He got angry and he threw them both from paradise. And this is the story that we were told. We were told that Lilith never existed and that Eva is the beginner of shame, instead of saying that Eva was the first human being who dared to have an own voice, her own voice, her own mind, her own way of dealing with knowledge and sharing it with the men, sharing it with Adam, sharing it with God, and asking God to give her and give all of us the knowledge of divinity, which means the soul, connection with the soul. From then on, she was called penitent, demoniac, a prostitute, a sinister. She was called shame. The word that comes with Eva in different religions is shame. And from there, we have grown. Every woman in this planet is carrying that story, that culture of shame in our minds, in our hearts. And somehow the patriarchal system has taken advantage of that to keep us low, silent, obedient, and somehow hiding because we are ashamed. We are ashamed of our body. We are ashamed of giving birth on the way we give birth. We are ashamed of being a woman. Generation after generation, century after century. Eva, a story written by men? Yes. It was the hand of men who wrote the story. I believe that if a woman would have written that story, it would have been told differently. So why to express ourselves? Why to express a mind of our own? Why accept that we are the initiator of life instead of the burden of shame? Why to become so disobedient? Is it bad? Is it really bad to disobey politics, to disobey the establishment that tell us that we are not worth it? Is it so bad to disobey when they tell us that we should not be educated, that we should not know? Is it so bad to be disobedient? Are women that seek knowledge should be cursed? The women are the burden of shame, and men the burden of destruction, war, exclusion, slavery. And when a man trusts a woman, should he be punished? And should those women have to give birth with pain? Does men have to really own war and own the planet as a way of living? When brothers will stop fighting brothers like Cain and Abel? When is this going to stop? It's been painful to men and women. It has been equally painful for both of us. And it has to be stopped. So can this story be rewritten? Can we say, obey our souls and rights and disobey the rest of it? A woman who seeks knowledge will be free, because now we know what is good, bad, wrong, right for us, for humanity, for the planet, for our dreams. And that's the kind of obedience that we should give ourselves and to the world. Can we rewrite the story and say that men construct, create life along with women? Can we start saying that the man, when he trusts a woman, he is blessed? Can we start understanding that women can give birth with the joy of giving life, either for giving birth to a woman or to a man, a boy or a girl? Can we say that together is much easier, men and women, men with men, women with women? And a message, a phrase that I will share with you over and over in this connection. And this dignity and divinity is for all of us. It's not only for men, it's for everybody, for whole humanity, and for every living being in the planet, in nature. Divinity and dignity are for all of us. Magdala or Marie Magdalene. In 1896, her gospel was discovered. She wrote a gospel. It was hidden, it was prohibited, but she wrote a gospel. And now this gospel is being promoted, is being shown to the world, and she only speaks about love. Love for Jesus Christ, love for ourselves. And she writes there that Jesus walked hand by hand, not only with her, but with many women and men equally. He didn't have this belief, even though he was a Jewish rabbi, he didn't have the belief that women were lesser, were less. So when we have the power and the right to speak out loud, we start shining like she did. She's a woman that dared to shine. And she was loved. She was loved by Jesus Christ, by many women and men who walked with them. She was loved. But then she was destroyed. And through different religions, started to create manuscripts with codes to enslave the women, to shut her up, to tell men and women that women should be tortured, burned, set aside, mistreated, if they dare to shine, to be smart, to want to study, to have the responsibility to build the world along with men. So these books, this code of laws, were spread around the world. The one that the Catholic Church created was Maleficarum. And this was a document, extreme long document with the different ways to torture a woman who dared to shine. The same way with the Manus Code in Hinduism, and so on. Marie de Magdala, or Marie Magdalene, was a woman that was destroyed by a badly told story. For example, Marie was not a name, it was a title, just like apostles. And Jesus walked with lots of Maries and lots of apostles. And these Maries were approximately 30 women who were educated against all odds in that time of humankind, when women were not allowed to read, to write, to be educated. Magdalene was educated by her brother Lazarus. He discovered that she was extremely smart, and he decided against the law, against Judaic law, to educate her. Then she met this rabbi, this young rabbi, and she absorbed his teachings, just like with Mahoma, who was also surrounded by women and who had wife who also absorbed his teachings and made them her own. The same way happened with many prophets, from Abraham, Moses, and so on. These women believed in men, and these men believed in women. The brothers, like Lazarus and Martha, the brothers of Marie Magdalene, were also very educated people from a very family with position and money. And they were the ones who protected Marie Magdalene. But then came the Inquisition, and the Catholic Inquisition decided to erase this story. During the first 3 centuries after Jesus Christ, she was considered the most important apostle of all. But then, after the Council of Nice, Constantine and the obisp of the Catholic, the Christian churches, because there were several, decided to erase the influence of a woman in church and make it only about Jesus Christ and his immortality and his chastity. And so a new religion started. And from there, many others. Inquisition took care to spread this belief all around the world. And they took the mother of Jesus Christ and made her an unreachable woman for all of us. A woman that we could never be. And Marie Magdalena, a woman that we would never want to be, the sinner. With this, we learned from every religion that Marie Magdalene is an archetype and a model that is called in different names. Aphrodite in the culture of the Greeks. And every religion has their own Marie Magdalene. She is a journey for all of us, no matter what religion we believe in. Marie Magdalene is an archetype, and you can call her however you want. You just have to find her in your own religion. She transforms love. That's her heritage. In whichever religion or belief, these archetypes is the transformation of everything into love. She's a wise woman. And so, if we embrace this archetype and we forget what we have been taught to believe, if we are obedient to the soul of a woman, then we understand that she traveled to different parts of the world with many faces, talking about love between women, men, and humanity and the planet. And she tells us to have our own voice. She is the one who says that dignity and divinity is for us all, no exception. Enough of lies. The truth will set us free. And she also says that behind every great woman can be great men, that we can be protected, we can be educated, we can be loved, admired by men. Here, take a breath, because the pain that women has felt for so long, not understanding this archetype, has denied us from this dignity and this divinity. And I tell you, these archetypes knows when to cry and when to start walking again. She knows how to go on. And that's why now women are standing up and saying, yes, I cry, but I also want to live on my own terms, taking care of love and taking care of everything that has to do with sacredness and divinity, because I can connect directly with divinity. The soul I have is a little piece of God. So the feminists start creating a new path. But this path has many faces too. And one of them is a very masculine, machistic path. I know it sounds crazy, but there are feminists that think that men who are machistic, men who want to have someone else as a slave. So there is a group of feminists who want to slave men. And this is not the message I'm sharing with you. Also, I want to share with you that not every man who is part of this machistic system is an abuser or a criminal. And I would like to invite you to differentiate the abuser and criminal from the men who are following blindly the steps of the patriarchal system. Okay? But also, we need to know that women can be abusers and can be criminals, and that it is well known that there are lots of women in the Occident who are abuse of men, abuse of their children, women who are as sick as many men who torture women. And there are women who mistreat women. And we mistreat them by not allowing them to be what they want to be, criticizing them, taking away from them their opportunities in work, and calling them with names that I don't dare to say out loud today. But you know what I mean. The feminists have different faces. One thing, on Monday, I had a conference with a group of girls that are in school, in a Catholic school. I'm not Catholic. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Jewish, but I speak to everyone. And I was called to speak to them. And I told them that feminism cannot be the new Inquisition. Feminism cannot become the killer of men, nor can be the carrier of the message that we women are superior than men. Feminism cannot become a violent action for change. Being warriors is what men has always been. So when feminists become warriors, they are making true the first message that women heard about feminism, is that women are the same like men. Women must behave, think, talk like men, dress, work, love, hate like men, which means that women that believe that have no idea what a woman is. They're just being a man in the body of a woman. This is a kind of feminism that no one that is connected with God, with the soul, wants. We don't want that ignorance. We don't want that rage and rules of revenge, that kind of mind in our hearts. We don't want to be the only one who has the word, the right word, the one who fixed the world. There is another kind of feminism that forgives, that understands that forgiveness is the only thing that will give us peace, but that forgiveness only rises when we migrate from relationships that are abusive to relationships that are respectful. So forgiveness doesn't mean to stay in abuse. It means to migrate to respect, because dignity and divinity is for all of us. Let's be the new draft of history. Let's imagine that in 2,000 years, in a book, in thousands of books, they will talk about us. Women who have a faith, women who have a purpose, women who found the way to be at peace with ourselves, with our past, and our future. Women who know how to take care of ourselves. Women who can migrate from the culture of shame to the culture of progress, of dignity, of freedom. The culture of shame that was transformed into the culture of love, productivity, independence, and at the same time, family, society, new communities, tolerance to differences, the same rights as men, but not be equal than men. We are not like men. We have our own intelligence. We have our own body. We have our own needs, but we have also the same rights than men. We need to rescue also those women who are more vulnerable than us, women who need us, who need to understand that shame cannot no longer be part of the vocabulary of their mind and actions, cannot be anymore the way to relate to themselves. Also, that freedom is our duty, and that men have the right to share their life with women who are prepared, who are educated, who are free to collaborate to rebuild this world. We need to be the voice that listens. We need to forgive and seek peace and renew ourselves from abuse. Go beyond abuse. Leave abuse behind. Stop abusing ourselves with shame. We need to balance knowledge and wisdom, and remember time after time that dignity and divinity are for us all, no exception. So how about if all the feminists that are connected with this message are the ones in charge, along with men, to take care of humanity and planet? And this is my proposal: to connect with wisdom, truth, and consciousness. Not every man is ¿cómo se dice machismo, Laura?
Misogynist.
Misogynist. Not all men are misogynist. My father was not. My brothers are not. My boys are not. My partners, my business partners are not. My friends and the husbands of my friends are not. They are good men. They exist. We just have to extend our hands, open our hearts and our minds to get to know them and to relate to them, and only to them. And the rest, we just put them aside. The supremacy of women cannot ever exist. We have to be together, men and women. And we have to forgive them, but we also have to forgive ourselves as a gender of women. Forgive ourselves to have believed that we are the carriers of shame. No more of that. We can collaborate along with men to cure the world. Women and men together with the same rights. Creating businesses, creating families, creating new societies, and even pushing religions to evolve and to talk to women in a different way, to be conscious of new rules and mind and words and actions, and to have a voice to be proud of, a voice that will set us into a new journey. This journey will take years and years. It will not be done from one day to another, from one generation to another. It will take so many years. But we have survived the worst, and we will survive the transition, and a new world will be done, will be created. We will evolve from the culture of shame to the culture of progress and freedom. It will take us time, and it will take time to men too. Men need time. Many men want that time. They want another kind of relationship with themselves and with women. Many men are tired, really tired of war, of fighting with each other, of ruthless competition, of loneliness, of not being heard. But they're also tired of hurting women. Those are the kind of mind we need to relate to. And these words I say to feminists who get angry when I talk this way. If I don't have a voice in feminism, then where will I have it? I need to be free, and I am free to talk, to create, and to teach. When I was planning this speech with Laura and Viola to all of you, many of my friends told me, you cannot say this. You cannot talk about Eva. You cannot tell your vision as it is. You have to be quiet. And I said, if I cannot speak, if I cannot share this vision and more of this vision, then why will someone invite me to talk to women? Because this is my message. And this is the message of many women, thousands, millions of women. Women who are tired of men and women who want to fight, who wants to compete, who wants to win. So this takes us to women in business, a needed decision. This takes us to this conflict that we are living now, a terrible conflict. What we have inherited and what we want to create, a conflict between of them. The archetype, hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Hello?
We hear you perfectly. We hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I lost you for a moment. Okay, so we are in this conflict. The religion we know, the life we know, the society we know.
Oops. We lost our speaker, and basically I'm trying to reach her through WhatsApp so that basically what she mentions here is the archetypes, the first conception of archetypes that was mentioned by Carl Gustav Jung, that was a contemporary or a younger contemporary to Freud, the one who's the father of psychology. So, and basically what she wants to convey here is that that the archetypes are universal behaviors and patterns that matter to women and men, and basically they are behaviors that we pass from generation to generation, and sometimes we consider that the truth. But many of these stereotypes or archetypes have been ingrained in us, but we need to move forward from them. So I'm not sure what is the next slide because I don't have the slides here, but with this, we're going to wait for Teresa to come in again. Hopefully she's her system can reconnect. And what she was going to talk about now is about the first businesswomen. So many people think, okay, when were the first businesswomen? Well, we have proof that more than 23,000 years ago, exactly 23,000 years ago, women were businesswomen because there were tablets in clay that said, please, brother, I have all these, let's say in today's date, millions, and I need to, and this person owes me so much, and I need that person to pay me back, and so forth. So, and then we have so basically that's how there were many businesswomen in the antique times. Then in Europe and in Latin America and in the US and Canada, there's been a period of regress, and Teresa would mention now what are the courtesans. The courtesans are the first businesswomen of today, where courtesans are at that time were very high-end prostitutes, but they were the ones who were talking with the popes, with the cardinals, with the kings, but they did not get like a salary. They would get property and freedom. So these courtesans were the first free women in our society in the West. And okay, maybe I can get her through. Teresa, do you want to continue talking about your presentation through WhatsApp? Hello? Because she's now reaching me on WhatsApp. And so there she is.
Laura,
Yes, we hear you. Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, are you hear me from WhatsApp or
from the computer, from the system?
Great, wonderful. Finally. Yes, I'm not going to talk about the courtesans, dear.
No, what I did is I give a little present.
No, but it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. So, but why don't you close it and mention why? Yeah. Why don't you? Yeah, you can. Talk about the courtesans. This is a very important part of history that needs to be mentioned. Just a few words about it, please, because I did a little talk, but I think that your knowledge is a lot more.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes. Let's see in English.
Yes.
Okay, courtesans. There is a difference between prostitutes and courtesans. Courtesans were very well-educated women. Prostitutes are women who are in the street, in the hands of a pimp who rules them and abuses them. Courtesans are women who usually come from families that educated them, but they lost all means for life. So they had to find a way to survive. And they decided to be lovers, and in that way create a path of financial independence. They were women who were the first one in educate themselves. They hired tutors to train them to walk, dress, eat beautifully, and as well as writing, reading, mathematics, financial knowledge, history, geography, politics. And these women became very powerful. They only connected with men who were powerful. Kings, the owners of banks, the owners of commercial companies, counts, the generals of the army. I mean, these women only connected with high standard men. And they saw each other as equal, because these men acknowledged them as the only women who were extremely educated and smart, and at the same time lovers and free to do and travel and move however they wanted to. This woman These women were the beginning of women liberation, and were the beginning of women rights. In fact, the first woman that wrote the first law document for the French government after the French Revolution was Olympe de Gouges, and she was one of the most known courtesans in France. But since she was a woman and she also was a courtesan, this document was buried, and she was killed, cut her head off by the government, the new government, because she dared to say that women and men were the same. This document was hidden, and even today, feminists do not acknowledge Olympe de Gouges because she was a courtesan. So this kind of information is painful, but ¿cómo se dicen sesgos, Laura?
The unconscious bias that our society has.
The unconscious biases and the judgment that we women have toward women, it's as hard and painful as those that men has for women. So this code, this legal document, was hidden, and today is being shown, as well as the Gospel of Marie Magdalene. Courtesans were not only women who have knowledge and have education, but they also were the first women who established their own businesses. They were the first women who owned their own businesses. They took the favors of men to build stores, to build themselves a career as writers or poets or artists. Coco Chanel, who was one of the last courtesans, she managed, as courtesan of two men, to gather the fortunes, the enough money to start their own business. And she asked of them to give her the freedom in banks and in other kind of business deal, so she could grow the empire that we now know, Coco Chanel. And these women, yes, they use sex to obtain money, true, but they were more than that. And when I talk about courtesan and Laura, too, we focus in what they are beyond sex, in what they accomplish for us beyond sex, what they said to us: be free, be a businesswoman, invest in yourself, invest in your future, so you don't belong to anyone ever again. The only way to not to belong to someone else is to be the
Independent. Owner of property, and Teresa, you can of property, and you can mention also that these courtesans also were very, very poor when they started. So it's not that they were in aristocracy. So they really, from stories from rags to fortune.
Yes, many of them were really, really poor. Some of them came from middle class and high class, even aristocracy, but they were victims of shame because they kiss a man or because they disobey a rule, and they were expelled from society. So these women who came from the bottom of society with these women who were expelled from society, they made a team, and they exchanged knowledges. They exchanged
information
ways of understanding life.
learnings.
So they together information. Yes, and especially wisdom. And so the ones who came from a better family and education, they taught the other ones to walk, to dress, to eat. And the ones who came from the bottom, from the most, from poverty, they taught the other ones to be courageous, to know that they can trespass any limitation, that they can believe in themselves. So together they created the courtesans, and they were accomplices, accomplices.
Accomplices. Yeah, they were accomplices
Uh-huh. They Yes, and for
or
over
partners.
300 years, they, partners, they became a team for success. So, if we are to choose a conflict between what we inherited from the shame, and we are not worth it, we are slaves, we have to shut up, or the innovative archetypes like the courtesans, then I rather choose the courtesans. I rather choose a new way of understanding all the Marie Magdalenes in every religion. I rather understand Eva as the one who told God, I want to be your daughter too. I want the piece of divinity side of me, my soul, because I am part of everything that you have created. And that disobedience sometimes is wonderful. So here comes caring economy. What Laura is the voice in the world for this beautiful way of seeing business, and I love it. And I'm also now, as she speaks about courtesans, I speak about caring economy. We, like courtesans, exchange knowledge, information, love, passion for this present and future that we are building in business. So all of this is to tell you, everything that I have shared with you all this time today is to tell you that we can evolve from shame to caring, from not being worth it to being part of a world that can be educated, that can educate others, that can care for the planet, and that we can take care of having and sharing equal opportunities in work and in care task. That caring economy is, by all means, one of the best solutions in businesses, and that we can take the best of every archetype and the best and only the good side of history that talks about us, so we together can create a new business vision, a sense of opportunity, a sense of beauty, discover together that there is a way that be disobedient is wonderful and is right, that brightness and innovation is part of the feminine energy, that grace and charm is our right, and that we can show to the world our grace and our charm, our joy of being alive and of living and of having a sense of life. And the power of knowledge is not the only power that we can acquire and have and develop, but also the power of intuition and the power of emotional intelligence. And of course, everything to value interdependence between all human beings, all to get dignity and divinity for all of us equally. Dignity and divinity. No one is on top of the other. No one has better rights than others. Dignity and divinity, no matter our past, no matter how many mistakes we made, no matter how many times we were told that we are not worth it, that we do not belong to a good life, No matter what we heard that is not love, we can accomplish this dignity and this divinity. Our dream is our right. Your dream is your right. But a right is a must, is a duty. You have the duty to make your dream come true. And if this dream is embraced by caring for the planet, caring for humanity, and caring for your productivity and the productivity of everyone involved in your dream, then you are in the right path. Then you can be ambitious, you can be a dreamer, you can be a doer, you can be a team, you can be the CEO, the owner, you can be the leader that you want to be, because your values are set by caring for the planet, caring for humanity, and caring for a good life, a productivity for all of us. And this is what I translate from dignity and divinity is for us all. And this is it.
Thank you. This has been wonderful. I mean, Teresa, and especially your English has shown that you've really can easily work on this. Given that this is our last talk, I will encourage everybody to complete all the assessments so that we can then provide you with a certificate after completing them all. So there's six assessments. Teresa, before you finish, I don't know if there's anything else you want to share with this group, and then Tara will take the last words.
Well, I want everybody to write in the chat one word that una palabra con la que te quedas de esto que hemos compartido.
So please share in the chat with one word of what has inspired you, what has stayed in your heart, what will you remember from this presentation of Teresa about the history badly told and the new ideas. So the chat is on your side. So I put inspiring, incredibly profound, and also revealing of new history that many people didn't know. And then
yes, I would like one word.
Yes, one word.
Do write it in the comment section, the public comments. I think you wrote it in private chat.
Oh,
so
okay. Anyway, so we can, if you want to read those the comments, because I don't see them here, but I'm sure that everybody else has been totally mesmerized by this talk, because I've heard it many times, and every time I find it so revealing, so important. And every single concept that she mentioned is part of a book that are in English. So we can definitely share with you the names of the books so that you can read on yourself and confirm all the knowledge that she has transmitted.
Okay, educational. Thank you, Sisley.
Welcome. So, Tara, you want to close? Thank you, Teresa, a million times.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, all of you. Really, thank you very much. It's been a challenge for me, because this is the first time I share all of this in English, and it's I haven't slept in 2 nights.
You did an amazing job.
Okay, well, Laura, of course, we cannot thank you enough, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Teresa, I just have to say, your talk was mind-blowing. And more than that, it was radical. So whether people agree with some of the things you say or they have a different lens, you have taught people today to think and be open to a different school of thought, and a school of thought that isn't really spoken about, a school of thought that is not yet explored. And whatever decisions people will come to on their thoughts about things, you have opened their eyes. You certainly opened my eyes. And I was chatting with Samir offline that he's like, are you listening to this? This is so new and novel and a different way of thinking. It's radical, was what he said, in the best of ways. And so I want to thank you for that, not just for educating us and for sharing with us, but for the courage it takes to put forth any new way of thinking. So obviously you haven't slept in 2 nights, and you've been courageous speaking in a different language, and you've been courageous speaking in a forum in Pakistan with Nigeria, which is not necessarily where you normally speak. And I think people often take it for granted. When someone is doing something new, you just look so comfortable and so pretty that everyone's like, oh, she's confident and she knows the world. But inside, it takes courage. So I just want to salute and celebrate you on behalf of all of us for that courage to, one, step out of your comfort zone and address a community oceans away. And at the same time, yes, I really recognize that and mean that. And at the same time, the content which you're saying and sharing is also very, very courageous. There may even be some platforms which may dispute it, argue on things and so forth. Here we were listening, mesmerized, as Laura said, but it still takes courage. And so I want to thank and salute you for that as well. For the entire audience of today, your time, your talk, our time with you was time well spent. And not always in life can we say that. So I really want to say your content was invaluable. And that brings me to, of course, thank Laura, whose content is always invaluable, always pushing the envelope. Your circle and inner circle, Laura, and our dear friendship means so much to me, and your circle inspires me. And I have to say that the way you went about our collaboration, who you've been selecting after our discussions and brainstorming of what we wanted to achieve from this collaboration, has been so mindful, so considerate, and so useful to us here. And so I just have to say, meeting you in Argentina was one of the luckiest things in my life. And obviously we have so many mutual friends and well-wishers. And but I don't think anyone really believed that we were going to actually collaborate. Before I continue and thank the others, I want to first thank Samir and then go back to you for a second, Laura. Samir, I know you have a few words to say, so let's hear from you first and I'll wrap up.
It's always a pleasure to meet up with you folks. It's Laura and Tara, and it's really wonderful. And Tere, I got to hear a completely different perspective. I got educated, and I'm trying to absorb whatever you said. This is very, very interesting. It's all about bringing women to be able to achieve their strength, their power, and it's upon all of us. It's not just upon women, it's upon men as well to be able to take that role, to be able to support and to highlight the potential of the leadership and the power of women to be able to play that role in our society, which sometimes has not been given, that voice has not been given. So thank you very much for being here, and we will continue to support as we move forward. We're there always. Thanks. All the best.
Thank you so much, Samir. You and the Canada-Pakistan Business Council have been a true partner, enabling us to reach not only Pakistani and Nigerian voices, but voices throughout Canada and around the world, including expats, but also including people from all ethnic backgrounds. Starting with our first session 1, with 6,000 views and comments going crazy and so forth. There's been no stopping the impact of these sessions. And I have to say the response has been overwhelming We have a great partnership in the Canada-Pakistan Business Council and Friend, and thank you for that, and your many heroic helps during our technical as well as, of course, in this content. We have a wonderful thanks to the Federation. The FPCCI has been a wonderful partner in ensuring more and more people have access to this great content. We, of course, thank JS Academy for Deaf that did the made it handy capable and did the sign language for the first few sessions, and Connect Here, which has done the last few sessions, and both those organizations are eminent, lauded by us, and enabled us as well to reach more viewers and increase the impact. So all our well-wishers and thanks to all the partners. Laura, I have to say that it's been pure joy collaborating with you, and I look forward to many more collaborations and many more meetings as COVID is hopefully going to allow us to travel soon.
Yes.
And spend more quality time together. You know, it's been a pleasure meeting your family as well. And we invite you to Pakistan to spend time with us here and get to know this community. Tere, of course, this offer extends to you. That goes without saying. But Laura, I really want to say that how this content has been put together has come out so well, exceeding certainly our expectations at Ladies Fun, and I hope yours, and now has 6 sessions fully recorded on Facebook that can be permanently seen. And we will also plan to put on YouTube and with some edits, and there will be the surveys that you have. So on behalf of Laura and myself, and everyone else involved, but in terms of the specific content created for you here, there are surveys. Laura has compiled a wonderful list of session survey, which we are spreading to the Ladies Fun community, and will request that Samir also spread to the Canada-Pakistan Business Council. We'll be giving that to you. And encouraging people to watch all 6 sessions, complete the survey after each session, and they will in turn get a beautiful certification, a globally recognized certification from the Ladies Fund Women for Solutions collaboration that's taken place here today. And from Women for Solutions is happy to be going through all of that and ensuring that everyone be certified. Right, Laura?
Absolutely. We want everybody to listen to the calls, and each evaluation or you just have to complete it, and it's all based on what you heard on the call, on the presentations. That's why we encourage you to listen to the presentations. They're only an hour and 15 minutes, and then to complete those, and then we'll be happy to give you a certificate. This way we can actually encourage people to say, you know, you have a certificate, so you have the basics of what means to move towards a more caring economy.
Yes, and that reminds us all that although there's been 6 sessions that have separate speakers, though of course Laura was the dynamic speaker of the first 2 and Tere here for the 6th, the theme was caring economy. And at the end of the day, we partnered together to share our ideas, vision, thoughts, to support one another in a better world. And so from that mindset, that vision, we encourage you to reach out, to add comments, add questions, and know that this is not the end, but a beginning. Laura was saying to me earlier, the popularity is so much from these sessions, should we do a repetition or repeat them? And I said that we have it recorded. So now these speakers are there forever with us. So we don't need to, we can replay it, but we don't need to re-record. On the other hand, we can do new content. And that's something we're looking to start in the fall because of the immense popularity of these sessions. So that means we have to thank you viewers. Of course, our collaborators and partners mean a lot, but we have to thank the viewers for the incredible excitement, feedback, and appreciation for the value of this content. And this particular series will return in the fall with new content, simply because of the demand of all of you. And we will be continuing with the Ladies Fun on Wednesdays. We wear pink sessions next month. And we will miss Laura for the next few months. And of course, Tere, it's always irreplaceable to think of you not with us. We will miss you. But Samir, we'll have you back in a month, and we will collaborate and continue to collaborate for some incredible content. Thank you. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.